You're watching Cover to Cover, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read. This week we're introducing A History of Sikh Misals by Bhagat Singh. This book was published by the Punjabi University of Patiala in 1993, and the edition we are looking at is a first edition hardbound. Dr. Bhagat Singh is a historian and PhD scholar whose comprehensive work on the Sikhs throughout the 18th century somehow to this day remains one of the only works that looks at the Sikh Misals in totality. How they came to rule, how they effectively ruled, and what that meant for the subcontinent and the wider South Asia region as a whole throughout the 1700s. Bhagat Singh took up the mammoth task of researching and producing this work by his own admission at the direction of Dr. Ganda Singh, the infamous historian of the 20th century, whom had wanted to produce a volume talking specifically about the Sikh Misals for many years, but failed to do so before the end of his life. Bhagat Singh acknowledges him in the preface and thanks Dr. Ganda Singh for having given him over so many of the original Persian manuscripts that he held pertaining to that time period. As you can imagine from the title, this is a no-nonsense book that covers exactly who the Sikh Misals were throughout the 1700s. It looks at them from a historical timeline, but quite conveniently for the reader and researcher alike, splits up each of the 12 misals and talks about them in separate chapters. This book takes over 17 chapters across some 450 pages of work. There are a number of additional chapters, beginning with the evolution of the Sikh community, taking us up to the time of the Misals, and then from the cross to the crown, before we look at each of the Misals in turn. The book closes with a chapter on the internal politics of the Misal, followed by the origin and development of the Misal organization itself, culminating with military system of the Misals. As well as the aforementioned preface, the book has one page of abbreviations that are quite helpful to find which works are being referenced in this book. And then closing the book, we have a select glossary, a bibliography, and an index. Many of our regular viewers to Cover might be wetting their lips at the thought of looking through that bibliography, and I can tell you it meets every single one of those expectations you have for it. It is immense and comprehensive. There are works there that I sometimes flick back through this bibliography to take a look at that I still don't remember ever seeing the first time I read this book. It is absolutely fantastic. The index is incredibly useful and helpful and very well crafted, I must say, as one might expect from an institution like the Punjabi University of Patiala. But that select glossary, which many viewers and readers alike might think is not going to be that useful for them in this particular context, becomes incredibly helpful for the scholar and intriguing for the casual reader. Footnotes and references abound on every single page, and the actual text to read is impeccably presented and well written. This is the only book that one needs to have on their bookcase to talk about the Sikh Misals, which is actually quite convenient because unfortunately it still is one of the only books that talks about the Sikh Misals that has been published to date. But as I say, it is absolutely fantastic. Anybody who wants to understand the political mindset of the Sikhs, who wants to understand how Raj came into being through Maharaja Ranjit Singh, or how it evolved following the life and times of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur and the early Khalsa Republic, then this is your go-to book. Everything that you read here might not be entirely accurate, but because Bhagat Singh has gone to great lengths to try to independently and objectively verify and reference every single thing that he is talking about here, every statement made and every policy that he tries to present of the Sikhs, it makes it a great source for you to digest, and then take further forward for your learning. As always, we want to know what you think, so please leave us your comments below pertaining to A History of Sikh Misals by Dr. Bhagat Singh. Join us again here on our Naujawani YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and of course share this video with others that you think might be interested. Join us again on Cover to Cover, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read.